to this week's Self-Love Masterclass. My name's Renee Mullings-Lewis. I'm a self-love teacher, a coach, an energy healer, and I'm also a doula. And I create these videos each week to help people just like you have an incredible relationship with themselves. Why? Because I truly believe that self-love, the relationship that we have with ourselves, is the foundation upon which we manifest everything in our lives. So thank you for being here again this week. And if you're new joining me, well, welcome. So today we're talking all about how to find yourself. And this really inspired me when I was having a conversation with a friend who was just feeling really lost. And she wasn't sure about her purpose and her future, and her job was coming to an end, and she just really felt like she didn't know what to do, really. And I know that that is something that a lot of us face. And people think that, oh, it's something that just happens to young people, but that isn't true. It happens to all of us at different stages and different points in our life. It could be, just coming out of university. It could be just coming out of a relationship or a marriage. Or it could be, you're at a place in your life where you're retiring and ending your career. Or maybe even your children are leaving home. And so you're really just evaluating and asking, what is next for me, or who am I? So today I'm going to give you 5 tips to help you find yourself again. And I think that these are tips that can be applied even if you're already kind of sure what your purpose is and you just want to do a bit of a check-in. Tip number 1 is pay attention to the signs. I believe that we're always being divinely guided, or that we're always receiving messages from the universe in one way or another. So when I say pay attention to the signs, I mean like literally notice the signs that you see when you're on the subway, or the billboard signs that you see when you're driving. Notice things like license plates. Notice songs that are coming on the radio, things that are catching your attention on the TV or in the newspaper, or even online when you're watching or going through your news feed on Facebook or Instagram. Notice the things that are standing out for you. And why I say this is because I truly believe that we notice the things that are relevant to us. We notice the things that are actually being driven by our subconscious, by our real desires, our true desires, and also that we're being guided to see the things that are important to us. Paying attention to these signs will often give you like a sense of direction. And I guess it's kind of like what I always say to my clients, kind of like follow the breadcrumbs. The breadcrumbs will always lead you to a bigger destination if you just trust. Tip number 2 is ask for help. And I can't stress the importance of this. I think so many of us are very hard on ourselves. We always feel like we should be at another place in life than where we actually are. We feel by a certain age or by a certain point that we should have it all together, that it should all be clear. And the reality is, it really isn't that way for most of us. I think there is a small percentage of people who are born sort of knowing in their gut exactly what they want to do. Like at 5 years old, they're saying, I want to be an actor or a dancer. But for the majority of us, we kind of stumble our way through life, figuring out what we don't want, which then brings us to what we do want. And so it's part of the reason why I feel having someone to talk to, someone like a coach like myself, or a mentor, or just anyone who can really guide you is helpful, because 1, you're not doing it on your own. You're not carrying this burden all by yourself if it does feel like a burden or if you're feeling confused. And also, when you're in communication with other people and you're talking, it can really spark things and it can give you insights that you're just not able to get to on your own. Tip number 3 is go on some kind of a trip or an adventure, or do something that takes you out of your regular habitat. And why I say that is because something happens when we're away from our regular or ordinary life. We get to really reflect, we get to think about things that we normally don't think about because we're so distracted with our jobs or our relationships or, you know, whatever else is happening in the environment. And let's say, you know, you're not going to take an actual literal trip, then I definitely recommend taking time off the grid. It's really nice to be able to just disconnect and unplug and really see what's important to you. What are the things that cross your mind? What are the things that you feel are important that you need to deal with? Or, you know, what inspiration do you get? Tip number 4 is explore your passions. Yes, think about the things that make you feel good. Think about the things that you like doing. Certainly, everybody can think of things that make them happy or things that make them feel good. And you really want to give yourself permission to explore what those things are and to do them. So if you love ballet, go and try a ballet class. If you like fishing, go fishing. If you like paper mache, go and do some paper mache. If you love hanging around animals, go and do that. If you love going to a vineyard, go and do that. Go and do the things that make you happy. Oftentimes, you know, our purpose or wanting to find ourselves is not so much about a particular destination, but it's about how we want to feel in the moment, how we really want to be living our lives. And the more you dive into the things that make you happy, the more you are going to feel like you are finding yourself. So tip number 5 is ask yourself this question. It is, if money wasn't an issue, like if money wasn't a thing, what would you be doing with your days? How would you spend your time? I actually want you to take a journal and write this down and maybe give yourself at least 20 minutes to do this exercise. Because I find when I'm doing it with clients, they have like 3 or 4 things that come off the top of their head. Like they're like, well, I would take a trip and I would go shopping and I would do this and I would pay off my house. And those things are all amazing and great. But the deeper you go into it, the more you start to see the things that actually are important to you. And I believe the things that you feel really make a difference. Like that fill you up and make you feel really whole, that go far beyond material items or things that only touch the surface. So really do this well. And if you need to, maybe even do it a couple of times. I do want to say that there are a number of questions that can be asked. And if you guys really like this video, let me know, because maybe what I'll do is a follow-up video to this where I talk about the questions to ask yourself to help you find yourself. There's probably like a good 10 questions that I think really help. But this is the most important question, in my opinion, or the question that I feel just really gets everything going. The bottom line, my friends, and I think the big thing that I really want all of us to take away from this video is understanding that we're human, and it's part of being human to sometimes be like, wait a second, am I going in the right direction? What do I really want and who am I? I think when we're doing that, it's because we're growing, it's because we're healing, and I truly believe that it's because we're people who not only want to feel happy, but we want to make a difference on the planet. We want to change lives. We want to see other people happy. This is just a part of the process. So wherever you are right now, whether you're going through this or you're watching this video and you've got a loved one that's going through this period of feeling a little bit confused or feeling a little bit lost, I want you to know that it's all going to be okay. And like I said in one of my tips, if you start to struggle, or your friend or your loved one starts to struggle, or your partner, then tell them to work with someone. Tell them to hire a coach, or work with a counselor or a therapist, or get a mentor. It will make a huge difference for them. All right, I hope you have really enjoyed this video. It has been such a pleasure to do this video for you. And you know what I'm going to ask you to do. Give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if it was helpful for you and what you learned or what you're going to take away from the video. Also, if you're not already following me on Instagram, please go ahead and do that. My Instagram handle is @ModernDayWiseWoman. It's all one word and all capitals, and I post there pretty much every day. I've also got self-love themes that I come out with every week where you can get a free assignment every day to work on, and I think you'll enjoy them. So come over there. I also have one more Instagram account. It's called Wise Woman Mantras. And if you like short snippets, just little bits of inspo, go and follow me there because you'll like that too. Last but not least, if you haven't already subscribed to this YouTube channel, go ahead and do that. I think the button's up here if you are watching this on your laptop, and if not and you're watching this on your smartphone, the button's somewhere down below, but definitely subscribe. These classes come out every single week, usually on a Tuesday, although sometimes I release them a little bit early for people who like to kind of jump ahead and get on things on the Monday. But yeah, it's getting better and better every week, and if you have a video request, then you can also leave that in the comments. Alright, you guys, it has been such a pleasure to be with you, and I look forward to seeing you for the next video. Mwah.